Welcome in, I'm Archerus, and in this video we're going to be going over King, a new leader to come out of OP08. Now King is a leader in purple and black, colors that historically haven't done too well together, looking at Z. However, I think King has a little bit more potential going into the OP08 set. King reads, activate main once per turn, Dawn -2, choose one. If your hand has 5 or less cards, draw one card, or give up to one of your opponent's character's -2 cost during this turn. So, there's a couple of different ways that you should be playing this, and I think overall is supposed to be played as a control deck that is able to refill its hand towards the late game once you start going low on resources, which is something that I think purple and black have really just struggled with in general as colors. But before we get into the deck list and talk about what I think you could do with this leader, if you find anything in this video useful or informative, please make sure to drop a like and a sub. It helps out the channel immensely. I cannot thank you enough for the support. Additionally, if you'd like to talk about the One Piece card game outside of the YouTube comments, please make sure to join the Discord. The link is in the description below. So King being purple and black, I think the whole idea here is that we're trying to use the purple side of things to ramp up in order to get to our black, our KO, our control aspect of the deck. And so in order to do that, with King being an Animal Kingdom Pirates, of course, we are going to be running a lot of the new Animal Kingdom support. Additionally, we will be running Onigashima, which makes sense because there's only a couple leaders that can use it. So if King is one of those, I think you should try to make sure that you have room for it. So we're going to start off with X-Drake, which X-Drake is a 2K counter that is an Animal Kingdom Pirates type, and it's an on-play Dawn -1. Your opponent trashes one card from their hand. This card is going to be mostly used as a 2K. I put it in here because it's searchable, and there is some practical effect you can use later on in the game if you really need to and you're trying to rip cards from hand. This is a decent card to do it with. However, for the most part, it's going to be a 2K. I think the most important card to be added to this deck is the new Charlotte Linlin, 9 cost, 9,000 power, on play, Dawn -1, trash one card from your hand, add up to one card from the top of your deck to the top of your life, then place up to one of your opponent's characters the cost of 6 or less to the top or bottom of its owner's life face up. King has a problem with being a 4-life leader. However, with this Charlotte Linlin, you now are able to add more life. So the life that you've been taking early on in the game, you can now kind of mitigate all of that damage by healing back up and also removing a body in the process. Linlin, coupled with a couple of cards we'll get to in a bit, basically can cover the entire board. So it doesn't have to be just a 6 cost. You can get all the way up to a 10 cost and put it in life and then heal on the same turn. So I think Linlin is a wonderful addition to this deck, and I think it's the whole reason you would play this deck and kind of one of the cards you should play around with King. Of course, with Animal Kingdom Pirates, we would be amiss if we were not running Queen here, the 5 cost blocker from the starter deck 4. This is an on-play Dawn -1, draw 2 cards and trash 1 card from your hand. Great cycling. Great way to filter out cards that you do not need, a great way to dig deeper into the deck and find answers that you do need. Then we're running for Suru. This is a 2K counter that's also a nice utility 2K on play, just cost reduce something by -2. So you can use this to reduce something down by -2 in a pinch if you need to get something off the field that you may not be able to just get rid of with some of the base KO effects that some of the cards that you have in the deck require. Like, for instance, Linlin would be needing to get rid of a 6 cost. Well, with Suru and Linlin, you can then get an 8 cost off the field. Then we're running 3 10 cost Kuzan. This is a 10 cost, 10,000 power. Your turn, all of your opponent's characters get -5 to their cost, and then on play, KO up to one of your opponent's characters at the cost of 0. I really like this card. However, I think that this deck, at first, I was kind of hesitant to add it in because I wanted to play a little bit lower to the ground and only really have my top end be 9 costs. However, you do get up to 10 rather quickly, and if you are able to stabilize with a 10 cost Kuzan, the rest of your cards really just go off from there. So Kuzan, I think, is a wonderful addition to the deck. I'm running 3 because it's not searchable, so I do want to just kind of naturally draw into it, which at 3, you will typically see 1 per game, which is nice. Then I'm running 4 Sabo, the 5 cost blocker. On play, your characters cannot be KO'd by card effects until the start of your next turn, and then draw 2, trash 2. So this is a really strong card, being able to filter out cards that are dead in your hand. You can dig deeper into the deck. This is a great card if you are going first and you didn't see Onigashima on curve, and then you play Sabo down, you're not minusing Dawn as opposed to Queen, so you can continue to just stay on track to get to your curve that you're going to be playing. Then I'm running 2 9-cost Kaido, which is another new addition from OP08. I really like this card, and I thought that I would want to put it in at more. However, I'm just putting it in at 2 right now because it is situational. It's not always the best card to play. The Activate main is once per turn, you may discard 1 card from your hand. If this character was played this turn, place up to one of your opponent's 7-cost or lower characters in the trash. Then your opponent discards 1 card from their hand. So you're going 1 for 1. You're getting rid of a card, they're getting rid of a card, plus also you're getting rid of a body on the board. It is trashing it. It does get past the non-KO effects like Sabo or maybe Borsalino, so that's very nice as well, something to note. Really good into Black Yellow Luffy because it can trash those characters. But the most part though, it does minus a card from hand, so it does obviously synergize with your leader. Being able to go down on hand size and then refill that back up with your leader ability is pretty strong. And also the Kaido can be played with your leader ability, so if you want to not use the draw card and you want to do the -2, you can play this down first, then do the -2 from your leader ability, then use this ability on top of that. So I think that's the reason why it was made overall. Next, I'm running 3 of the Searcher Queen, a new Searcher from OP08. This is an on-play. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose an Animal Kingdom Pirates except for Queen and add it to your hand. Put the remaining to the bottom of the deck in any order. I was running this at 4. As I was playing it though, I realized that it doesn't get the cards I really want to see. So obviously when I'm starting off, I want to see Onigashima, which we'll get to, but Onigashima, if I don't see it, that is obviously going to be a problem in itself outside of this. However, Queen later in the game doesn't grab Blocker Queen because it can't grab another Queen. And the other thing is it cannot grab the 9-cost Lin, which I think is the most important card to the deck. So I ran it at 3 instead, and I bumped up another Searcher, which we'll get to in a second. But that's the reason why I have 3 here instead of 4. Really good card otherwise because it does grab a lot of the cards in your deck overall. Then I'm running 4 Sasaki. This is an Activate main. You may rest one of your Dawn in this character. Up to one of your opponent's characters gets -2 cost for this turn. The price for this is rather steep. It is a 2k counter though, which is a nice payoff. So if you don't want to use the -2 effect, which oftentimes you're probably not going to anyway, the 2k counter is going to help you more often than not. And yet again, another new addition from OP08, we have Jack, a 7-cost, 8,000 power body that says this character has +4 cost, and it's Activate main. You may rest this card, draw 1 card, and trash 1 card from your hand, then KO up to one of your opponent's cost 3 or lower characters. This card is probably the best card to come from OP08. It just really makes Black, puts it on a whole nother level altogether. Really insane. This card can be searched out with the Queen and also the other Searcher event that we'll get to in a bit. This card is also really hard for your opponent to deal with. Once it's on the field, it is an 11 cost. And so like Lucci or any kind of cost reducers, any decks that are built around KO on cost have trouble dealing with Jack. Of course, they can just outright get rid of it with Stussy, or maybe like if you're playing against blue, with Red Rock, or Reiju with yellow. So there are ways to just outright deal with it, but it does require that answer immediately almost. And so this card is really powerful, and coupled with a couple of other cards in the deck, I think this card is, it just goes off. It's just insane. The other card that really goes well with it is the 6-cost Nico Robin, which is an on-play when attacking. If you have an 8-cost or above character on the field, give one of your opponent's characters -5 cost during the turn. So you can either set this up on play or when attacking, which is great. You can set this up the turn before with Nico Robin just setting it down, and then a Jack the next turn, swing with the Robin, -5 to something, and then Jack can get rid of an 8 cost on the field. The other thing with this Jack that I think is well worth mentioning in case you just weren't aware of it, but I think most people are, is you can just use the draw 1, trash 1 as well as soon as you throw it down. You don't have to KO something, so it's basically allowing you to do a free cycle, and the body is really high for an opponent to attack into. Like strength-wise, it's 8,000 power, so it's going to be a little bit harder for somebody to clear this thing, so you can probably feel free dropping it on 7 and then using the draw 1, trash 1 just to filter out your hand, which is really nice. But Jack is really great coupled with Robin, really strong with Kuzan. We also have some Ice Ages, which I'm running 3 of, which is give up to one of your opponent's characters -5 cost during the turn. So in case you don't have this Kuzan, you do have an Ice Age, you can use this with the Jack and then also get rid of pretty much anything in the field. Also, Jack, with your leader ability, with a Kuzan, can get rid of a 10 cost. With the Ice Age, can get rid of a 10 cost. With the Nico Robin, can get rid of a 10 cost. So, yeah, this is I think a must at 4. Then I'm running 3 Gum Gum Jet Gatling. This is a 0-cost event that just says discard 1 card from your hand up to one of your leader or characters, gains plus 3,000 power during the battle, and the trigger, you can add a Dawn from your Dawn deck and set it as active. So it has a couple of different uses here, but for the most part, I'm running a lot of bricks in this deck. And so I think it's very important if I'm running a lot of bricks to be able to get rid of those bricks by being able to counter out with them. So the 0-cost event does that efficiently. And I would probably run anywhere from 3 to 4, just depending on how many bricks we are running in total. It looks like at the time of this, I'm running about 8, 11, 13, 17, 20, 23. So I'm running a lot of bricks here. So yeah, this is the 0-cost event's very, very important here. Then the 1-cost event, we're going to claim the One Piece from OP07 is the other search event that I've been referencing. It is a main, if your leader has the Animal Kingdom Pirates or Big Mom Pirates type, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 Animal Kingdom Pirates or Big Mom Pirates type card other than this card and add it to your hand. And then the triggers activate this card's main effect. This card will grab pretty much every card in the deck except for like maybe Kuzan. It does grab the 9-cost Linlin, very important. It does grab Onigashima, super important there. And then it can just grab other big pieces that you may need at different points in the game. I mentioned Ice Age -5. We're running 3 of these just in case we don't get the 10-cost Kuzan. And it's very nice to have a 1-cost -5 just at the tip of your fingers, just in case you do need to get rid of something on the pinch, like Ice Age plus Kaido, Ice Age plus Jack, Ice Age plus Linlin. There's just so many different possibilities here. So Ice Age is pretty important overall. And then, of course, we're running 4 Onigashima. This, if you're familiar with Kaido from Starter Deck 4, this is the card that made Kaido really strong. And then, of course, it's going to make King worth playing, if anything. To activate main, you may rest the stage if your leader has the Animal Kingdom Pirates type. Add 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and rest it. So this is the most important card in the deck, I would say. I know that I said 9-cost Linlin is the most important, but if you don't see Onigashima, then you are going to be in a lot of trouble going forward because a lot of your deck relies on you ramping up and then being able to stay around the 9 to 10 Dawn and being able to use your leader ability efficiently and effectively, and being able to not have to negate your Dawn overall is probably an important game plan here. So that's why Onigashima is very important. But I think King is in an interesting spot. I'm not going to say that King is like an amazing deck. I want it to be really good. During Bandai Card Fest, my friend Dom and I were like trying to cook up a list for King because we were like, well, we figured that a lot of the decks were going to be, you know, the black flavor of the month, whether it's Starter Deck 14 Luffy or Lucci or Black Yellow Luffy, any of those. We were kind of just like kind of bored of seeing those, and so we're like, well, what could we do that might be a little bit spicy, could have some potential to do well? And so we started cooking up King, and this deck list is a little bit of a culmination of what he came up with, but what also afterwards I tested with and kind of decided what worked and what didn't, but still kind of a work in progress, I'd say. But overall, I think that it's in a good spot. We'll probably test it some more over time and maybe change some things here and there. But in the meantime, let's take it into the sim and see how it does. All right, let's go against Reiju here. Let's keep this hand because we have a Queen, Onigashima into a Robin. So I think these are all very good things to see here. I don't mind grabbing Kaido. So Kaido will be able to answer their Ichiji, their Red Ranger. We also have a Jack, which is very nice to see. So we have the makings of a decent hand here. Unfortunately, though, I'm not too optimistic against Reiju just because they can just pop off out of nowhere. And if they start popping off and we have no answers to some of the stuff that they have, then yeah, we will be in a little bit of a tough spot overall. We do need to see a 9-cost. That's very good for us to be able to put stuff into their life. Don't care if the Queen gets KO'd. Doesn't really matter to me. No, I think it's fine to stay where we're at. We'll swing 5. I was thinking about ramping up, but I don't really think it matters too much here. I'd rather just play the Nico Robin anyway, and then have the Nico Robin come down, play the Jack the next turn. So I think that's fine. I think it's fine with what we did there. They go up to 7. That's fine. I think we're going to swing 5 at lead. We might swing 7 at the Niji. Or we're going to actually be pretty high up here. So we could swing 5 at lead, then swing a lot of our Robin at the Niji. Probably 9 at the Niji. They'll probably counter out here, which it is what it is. I don't know if this Kuzan is necessarily needed. Let's take that. And let's counter out of this one. Yeah, I don't think we need the Kuzan, if I'm being honest here. Okay, so let's use this first so we can grab something. Blocker Queen's pretty good here. Swing 5 lead. Swing... Oh, we can't do that quite yet. 8. Yeah, let's do this. Trash. Ooh, nice. That's a good one to get. I'm going to get rid of this Robin here. And now I'm going to use my leader ability. 1, 2, draw 1, and pass. Got rid of a Robin to get one right back in its place. This 9-cost Lin Lin is super important. Glad we grabbed that. Or glad we were able to get that off of the Jack. This combo is really, really strong, though. Love to see it. Yeah. Ichiji is going to be really good for us. Really good for them, at least, to be able to crash into us here. Unfortunate, though, because it means probably something here is going to die. Yeah. Figured as much. Yeah, I think we just let that one go. I think we let it go. Then what we can do here is we go Kaido. Kaido gets rid of this. Then I'm going to -2 to do this. And then draw 1. Trash 1. Swing 6 at lead. So we're just clearing the board. We're just getting rid of stuff off the board here. And hopefully staying alive the best we can. Of course, against Reiju, it doesn't really matter too much if we clear their board because they can just bring it right back. But getting rid of this Ichiji, I think, was super important for us. Being able to do that, I think, is really good overall. I would have liked to draw instead of use the -2, but in that case, it's fine to do so. I think it's fine to get rid of the bodies and just have, like, their leader swing be the only thing that comes through. We do have to keep, you know, some awareness that they might drop another Ichiji here. They also have the makings of a really great judge turn. Okay, so Sora into probably the 4-cost Ichiji. Yeah, that's usually the case here. They're going Porsche. Okay, that's fine. Can we Jack? Maybe. We might be able to just put this Ichiji into life as well, which is pretty important overall. I wonder if they go really hard here. Okay. They go pretty hard here. It's fine. That's actually pretty good to grab, of course. So let's do this. Let's go 5 into lead. The Ice Age was really well timed, of course. Let's go here. Draw 1, trash 1 here. Let's go 9 into lead. Let's go here. Minus a Dawn, gain a life, put this at the bottom, and then we're going to use our leader ability here to draw a card. 2 2Ks, love to see it. And then we can kind of pressure a little bit harder next turn if that's the case. Hopefully not really worry about the bodies, but putting this into life I think is pretty important overall, because what that means is that they cannot grab it again. Just off of what we see here. So they're going to swing 7, more than likely at us. It is what it is. As long as we can survive, maybe like 1 hit, maybe 2 hits. I don't know. We need a blocker. Another Ichiji is not necessarily what we want to see here. Niji, 5 cost is fine. We're not really playing anything that they can throw down. We are just going to go ahead and do this. Stay at 2 if we can. Cool. Let's go ahead and just go 9. Let's go 7. We don't really have anything to do here, unfortunately, so we're just going to go and swing the best we can. -2 to draw a card. Ooh, maybe we can find a blocker off of this. We found a blocker off of it. Let's go ahead and use that blocker and get rid of the Kaido. And then we can go 9. And they're just using the blocks because I think they're trying to stall out for a turn, which is fine. And let's pass. So they got rid of, or we got rid of 2 of their blockers this turn. I don't think that they're running the Vinsmoke blocker. This turn, I would imagine, though, is probably a Judge turn, because they are at 9. This would be a great time for them to do it. They're at 16 cards in hand. If they don't have a Judge, then I'm honestly really surprised here. I think if we can just try to stay as healthy as possible or stay alive, that's pretty important. If we can keep our bodies alive, that's also really important. If we can keep Queen alive, I think that's really good here too as well. Doesn't look like it's going to be a Judge turn, thankfully. Just your common Ichiji play. So that's fine, I think. We'll find out if it's fine. They might just really want to go into this Jack, which I guess we'll see if that's the right play here. 7 at lead. Okay. No, we will hold on to this. I think this is fine. Cool. And I guess we'll do this. Another blocker. Gosh. Is this worth trading it for a potential 2K? I don't know. The answer is no. Okay, so we're going to go here. Let's go 9 into 7. They might just counter out here. Let's get rid of this. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just go really hard into this. We're just trying to keep the board possibly clear if we can. They just get rid of it. That's fine. And then we're just going to use this to draw a card and pass. We do have this as a backup plan in case that we have a failsafe. So they are doing their Judge turn this turn. That's fine. What would we want to do instead? I'm not quite sure just yet. I think if I were them, or if I'm me, which I am me, I might just want to hold off, you know, counter out as much as possible and then just swing really, really hard. Which I think is possible here. I'm afraid that this chopper is going to be in the way, but also the chopper, if we use the Jack, that kind of just gets rid of, like, the chopper off the bat. I don't really like that, to be quite honest. I think what we want to do here is we just want to save all of these bodies on board and then just hit them really hard this next turn, where we could probably do like 9, 9, 9, and then maybe a couple more 9s as well. So we'll counter out there, and we will counter out there. We could go 1, 2, 3, 9, 1, 2, 3, 9, 9. We could go 8. So let's just do the 8 first. And then just hit them with a barrage of 9s. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think they're going to be able to counter out of all of these 9s. Yeah. Doesn't look like it. Two, 7. So yeah, if we do another one of these, will they be able to counter out? Don't think so. Yeah, at that point, they can't take 9, 9, and then another 9 here. So I think we played it fine. We had a really good hand here. It was a little sketchy there towards the end where I was just trying to clear the board as best as possible. And if they let that Ichiji go, I think even if they protected it, I think it was fine. But I don't know if they had a second one. They did have a second one, so maybe it was better for them to just, I don't know, use the chopper there. But I think that they were a little bit worried that I was just going to go all in the turn after. So I don't know. I think King, this deck can handle Reiju just fine, but you do have to see the pieces, of course. Otherwise, if we just kind of floundered around, didn't have Onigashima, we'd be in a lot of trouble. All right, against Kaido, let's take first. If we can try to find either a Searcher or Onigashima. We get neither, so that's unlucky, but it is what it is, I suppose. We might just play this down. Is it worth it? It might be. Let's just play it down. Let's just play it down, just so we have it right now, ready to go. We don't have anything, unfortunately, to play off of this, so we're just going to swing 8. Really wish we had Onigashima, of course, but it is what it is. Wow, Thunder Bagua off the top? That's insane. Usually you just take the first hit, but I guess, you know, guess they didn't want to. That's fine. I'll take the first hit gladly for the most part, so. Against Kaido, this is a deck that I don't really see very often, but I'm assuming, well, they played this, so they're trying to ramp up, so that's something to keep note of. We do get the Onigashima, so let's just go ahead and play it instead of the Sabo. Then swing 7. The following turn will be at 8. And they're going to be at 8 and 2. That's so insane that they haven't used a single Onigashima. They've just got Basil Hawkins off of Thunder Bagua trigger. Gets them to 8. Pretty insane. But hey, good for them. I think we just have to keep aware that they could have something immediately to answer something for us. So like we could have a problem if they go into their Tendon turn and they play like a board wipe Kaido, especially if we have a pretty big sizable character on the field. Could be a problem. We'll see what they do though. If they decide to swing 5, I think it's fine to just take. Black Maria, interesting. Let's do this. And grab a Lin. I think I have a feeling they might have the 9 cost next turn, so let's not play into that, because them putting this down makes me think that they have the 9 cost. So let's just go ahead and play this. I think this is fine to find a play instead. So they can't KO anything. And then the next turn, we can Ice Age Kaido, we can Ice Age whatever they may throw down. I think it's pretty important to Ice Age if we can. We might want to put the Black Maria into life as well, because I have a feeling that they're trying to do the 9-cost Kaido, like I said, and then immediately use the Black Maria to get that value back up. So we don't want that Black Maria on the field if that's the case. They might just swing really heavy here, and we might have to take it. But if we do take it, we can go back up to 2, which is the comfortable thing here with Black Maria. Sorry, with the Lin. That's one of the reasons why we're running this, is because it is an important card to run. If you're able to just heal back up and take a hit, I think that's pretty important to do. If we can go to 3, that's even better. I have no concern with this Hawkins, so I'm not going to swing into it. Cool. That's good for us. That means that we can do this. We can go 6. And then I'm going to attack in here with the Sabo. We'll go here. -1. We'll trash this card. We'll gain a life, and we're going to put this at the bottom. And then we will use our leader ability here to draw a card and then pass the turn. So this next turn, they have 10, so they could do a whole bunch of different stuff. Likely what will be very telling is if they go like 5, 6, and then they might have some big answer here, which that could be a problem. They don't have it quite yet, which is nice to see, which may mean that we just want to go and play our Sabo down if that's the case. Just to be extremely, extremely safe here. The other thing is we could play another Lin and heal back up, which I think isn't an awful option either, and then just keep an Ice Age Lin for if they do have something big, or Ice Age Kaido for that matter, I think is fine. Let's go ahead and just have them swing into us. Let's force them to swing into the Sabo here. It's going to go no matter what, because they're probably going to go and swing Hawkins again. They might swing Queen into it, but that is okay for us because we want that to happen. We'll swing into whatever we can at that point, yeah. We want them to swing into the Sabo. Yep, which they will. What could we grab? I don't know if Jack's necessarily what we want here, and I don't think that's... Yeah, I don't think we need that. Okay, so let's go ahead and just swing here. 9 into 6. Let's go and swing... well, let's go ahead and use this first. We'll go here, gain a life, put that there, and then we're going to swing at 6 into 5. Have them give us a 2k. And then we can use our leader ability next. So we're just staying alive and kind of playing the field the best we can. Feel like we are on a little bit of a clock here. Oh, 2 1Ks. That's pretty telling. Actually pretty good for us. We'll draw a card. We are getting really lucky with the 2Ks that we're drawing off of the leader ability. That's 2 turns in a row now that we've used the leader ability and we've gotten a 2K, which I'm so happy that that's the case. Swinging flat 5 is a little concerning. It may mean that we're just going to be getting 10 drop here. Oh, just a red rock. Okay. If they swing Hawkins, I'm just going to get rid of this thing, because at this point, it's just being a nuisance. Okay, cool. We will swing 6 into the ulti. We're going to get rid of the ulti. We might just play another Lin. This Sasaki has done nothing the entire game, which is okay. We'll go and swing 6 here. 9 at lead. We'll return 1 Dawn, and yeah, we're going to have to get rid of the Suru here because, well, I want what I have in my hand. I think that's pretty important overall. And yeah, their life is another red rock. Okay, so that's fine. If they do swing here, then we don't have the answer for it, which is, I guess, it is what it is. We will be playing our Kaido down and getting rid of this ulti. That is insane, though. Well, not insane. I guess they've been able to pull out whatever they needed the past couple of turns, which, that's fine. We can use the Sasaki here. Finally we get the use. I was going to say, I'm trying to think if we use the Ice Age or not, but I kind of want to hold the Ice Age for Kaido, and because I'm imagining they're going to have a big turn here coming up. They've kind of just not done anything for the past couple turns, which that's fine. So we're going to use this first, or should we? You may rest this up to when you... Okay, so let's do this. We'll go here. We have to swing 7, so let's go 7. 7, 9, and then play the Jack, filter out the Onigashima. Give them the Black Maria, which I so strategically placed. Yeah, see, this is why you use it first before you swing. That's fine. We'll do this, another Onigashima. Okay, cool. And then we'll use our leader ability here to draw 1. And we're getting duds now. I spoke too soon. I said, oh, wow, I can't believe that we are so lucky as to get, you know, some really good cards here from the leader ability. But then, you know, not the case. This turn would really suck is if they had like a Kaido, 9-cost Rush Kaido. Looks like they're just going to be swinging face, maybe. Okay, that's fine. So what we'll end up doing is just go and play... Well, we'll swing 5. We'll counter out of that one for sure. Swing 9. Get rid of this. Use our leader ability. And pass. I mean, we could have used the Onigashima there. It doesn't really matter. We're going to go up 2 anyway. So at least we have 1 counter in hand in case they decide to go really big here. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. We have been able to turn it around. Of course, they didn't get Onigashima, and then sometimes these Kaidos don't run Onigashima overall because it is not really needed, especially with their leader ability being able to KO something in gain Dawn. They did have a 9 cost, as I thought. They might have another one, and that's why they tossed it, but This next turn, we can just really hurt them pretty hard. We can go like play the Kaido, get rid of the queen, and then Kaido get rid of the Onigashima when it comes down, and then we can swing 6, 9, 10. And they probably don't have enough to counter out of a 9 and a 10, I would imagine. Black Maria, they just keep putting this down here because I know what they're doing. I know what you're trying to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and play this. Trash the Onigashima. We'll do this. I'm going to be doing something a little strange here, and only because I want to be able to use my leader ability, and I want to have a better chance of drawing something that's not a dead card. So let's go ahead and do this, just so we can go ahead and use the leader ability here. We'll swing 9. I don't think they're going to be able to survive this regardless, but just for the sake of it, I want to use my leader ability first, just to see what the next card was. Okay, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. So, yeah. They did have a Kaido. I knew that's what they were using the Black Maria for. I figured that was the case. They were just trying to get all of their Dawn back. But unfortunately, I don't even know if they're running Onigashima, but yeah, it is what it is. So, GG to them. So, on to the next. All right, going against Bonney, we want to take first, and I actually kind of like this hand because we do have Onigashima. If I see Onigashima, typically I'm going to keep that hand. I don't think I would ever mulligan for anything else. If there was an Onigashima and the rest of it was duds, it's not a dud hand. It is a good hand, in my opinion. So we can go 5 next turn, swing, and then use the Onigashima. I guess we'll get rid of the Bonney Searcher because we do want to get rid of these things off of the board. And then the following turn, we have the option of playing Sabo or Queen. If we can get a Nico Robin, that's even better. But we'll see what we get when we get there. Of course, this will probably be able to find a 9-cost Linlin. So with that being said, we might just want to use our Sabo so that we can get to 9 Dawn as fast as possible. If we use the Queen, we'll only be down to 8 Dawn, which is something that is fine. It's still a good Dawn for us to be at, but I would rather us not have to worry about that. So let's grab the Linlin. Kuzan's really good in this matchup, but unfortunately we just bottom deck 2 of them. It is what it is, so let's swing 5 here. We could play the Queen down, so we're going to be 6 minus 6, so yeah, it would be 8, but I think it's just better to go Sabo, get rid of the Onigashima, and then I think we can probably get rid of a Queen. I kind of like Robin overall. There's a world where Robin does kind of work for us. But this next turn, we're going to be playing Linlin anyway, because we're probably going to be answering a Cavendish. Usually it's going to be either Cavendish or Hawkins, and if it's either of those, if it's Cavendish, we just get rid of it. If it's Hawkins, then we kind of just have to ignore it. Maybe play down the Nico Robin, because Jack does really well into that. We'll take this. This is fine. We'll take it knowing that we'll be able to heal up next turn anyway. So Ice Age is super important. We need to hold on to that. So let's go ahead and just swing. They're going to rest the Sabo anyway. So I think we just swing 6. I think we swing 6, and then we can use our leader ability. Actually, we can't because I don't think we're going to be at 5 cards. So let's minus this to... Well, I guess we do get rid of the Nico Robin. And then we'll use this. Doesn't really matter. And pass the turn. This next turn will be interesting for us. I think that the Ice Age is super important. Let's hold on to it. Ice Age plus Kaido is going to get rid of most things. If they have a Zoro, which they might against us, that could be a problem. So let's make sure to hold the Ice Age for that. If we can get a 10-cost Kuzan down, I think that's pretty important as well. Kuzan just like helps everything out in this matchup. If you have a Kuzan, everything's pretty free at that point. Otherwise, you kind of are wasting resources trying to get rid of stuff on the board. Yeah, Hawkins is nothing, like we can't really do much about Hawkins here. It's fine. They swing 7 at lead. We'll take it. What world is there where we might just be able to get our Jack down, but then if they're going into 10, that could be problematic here. So Let's just go and swing 9 into lead. That's fine. And then let's go and play our Kaido. I think Kaido's fine. We'll trash a Jack. I think it's fine to trash Jack here. To trash your Rouge. Get rid of a card in their hand as well. And I think we just pass the turn. Because we don't have anything else we can do here. So let's just pass the turn. We're not going to swing 6 because they'll just block it with the Hawkins. And we want to keep these at least standing for the next turn if they do play a 10 drop down. I think it was pretty important to get rid of the Rouge, and I didn't want to heal them in the process either. So that's, I think, important. This next turn could be a little iffy since we are at 2 life. We are floating around the 2 life threshold, which, yeah, it is what it is. But this next turn, we'll probably be able to swing Kaido. Oh, they're just swinging flat. So I think what that means, we'll just get rid of a 2K here. They might swing Hawkins. If they swing Hawkins, they swing Hawkins. It's fine. Another Linland's pretty good overall. We like to see that. Okay. Interesting. Your Rouge, we'll go and do this. I think we can just swing 9 here. We might have just wanted to like counter out with this, but or get rid of this thing, but we'll see. Is there a world? Yeah, they did do that. That is okay, I suppose. Let's go ahead and do this. They'll probably block this. I think I need to get rid of the Jack, and then I can use my leader ability and heal. We need to keep another Linland in hand, though, which is also something to keep in mind. At least we're not, you know, like using... select 1 card to trash. We'll trash this. Gain a life. We can't really put anything in life, so they're just going to rest it, right? If it removes the field. Remove from play. Yeah. We're not going to use that. And we're going to just do this instead and draw a card. And pass the turn. We're keeping the Sabo up because they've shown that they're going to be aggressive with their Hawkins here. So if that's the case, then what we need to do is just... keep our Sabo up so that we can block. We might teeter around like 2 life at some point. We need to start like... we really need to start capitalizing on like the bodies we have on board. So what that means is, yeah, they're definitely just being aggressive as possible here. Let's see what we can do. If they are really aggressive here, we do have the Ice Age Linland to get rid of whatever they do decide to throw up. It's pretty nice. Fine. Another Ice Age. Take it. This seems like a 10... oh, Zoro. Okay. That's fine with us. What we'll end up doing here is we'll just go 9. They'll rest one of these. They might protect one of them as well. We'll go 9 again. This one, I would imagine they protect. I don't think that they would let both of them go. Yeah. We'll go 5 at lead. We'll go Ice Age. Linland. Trash this, heal this, put this at the bottom. And then we can -2 to draw a card. Jack, the next turn's not awful either. That's actually pretty solid here. It just depends on how aggressive they get, of course. But we can answer some of the stuff that they might throw at us. The only thing I'm really scared about is a potential, like, Hody Jones coming out. Swinging a flat 5 just means that we're going to counter out here. They'll probably swing Hawkins like they've been swinging it every turn. Feel like if you're green, you just swing. If you're going against black, you just swing your everything you can. If it survives, just let it. Okay. That's fine. They don't want to swing the Hawkins? You kidding me? Now you don't want to swing it? Why not? Okay, so let's see what we can do here. We can just get rid of this Doflamingo, which is really nice. First things first. 1, 2, so we can swing 6. Let's just swing 5. Just swing 5 at lead. If I were them, I'd just counter out of this one. Yeah. Swing 9. Let's go ahead and do this. We'll go Ice Age. Ice Age. Let's use our leader ability. Draw a card. Draw this. Sabo or Queen? I think Queen's better here. And then pass. We'll see what we can do this next turn. If they have another 10 drop, then yeah, that sucks, but what can you do? I'm keeping my Queen here in my hand. I'm not going to counter out with it because I don't think that it's smart to counter out with it. If they do have a Hody Jones and try to go for game here, then I think we have the crack back at least. Where if they go like 7, 7, 9, we can get rid of or get out of one of these at least. Counter here. Is it another 10 drop? Please do not let it be another 10 drop. I am not equipped to handle another 10 drop. Please. This is where 10 cost Kuzan is just a godsend in a lot of these matchups. Okay, baby 5. I don't know if they're wanting to use their Hawkins here because they are low on resources overall. So another baby 5, a 2k counter here. Is it even worth going after this? I don't think so. Personally, I don't think so. Oh, double Hawkins. Enjoyable. They are pretty aggressive with their Hawkins, which is totally fine. Gives me something to do, for sure. We'll take it. We'll go here. They're going to rest my Lin. I think it's fine to go 8. There's a world where they do have like a Hody Jones ready to go. And if they have a Hody Jones ready to go, yeah, this is pretty scary, but there's a world where we just hit 5. We hit 10, sorry. We hit 10 here with our king and then play the queen down. And we're forcing them at this point to have the counter. Okay. We're just gonna hit him to 0? I guess it doesn't really make sense, does it? See what we get. That would have been nice earlier. Let's go ahead and -2 to draw a card. Sabo's not bad. But here's the thing. If this is a Hody Jones, then does it actually matter? If we throw a Sabo down? I don't think so. Okay, we'll give them that. I mean, we're helping them out no matter what. There was nothing we could have done there anyway. If this is a Hody Jones, they would have taken the last life. Hody Jones without that doesn't really matter. So yeah, we are in a pickle here where, yeah, we need to be able to survive. A couple of hits coming our way. We can counter out of a couple of things, but really dependent on this last life. This Sabo could have been a good thing to throw down. But like I said, if this was a Hody Jones, yeah, if it's a Hody Jones in the last one, then What can you do there? Depending on how they swing. Okay. They go 7, so then that means they're going to go like 7, 9. And honestly, 7, it just depends on what we get from this last life. So yeah, I think it's fine to take that because no matter what, they're swinging, they're going to be swinging 8, 8, or they could be swinging like 7, 9. So yeah, either way. Either way, we didn't have it, but regardless, this matchup really is dependent on if you are able to get the 10 cost Kuzan. I think that's really important here. Otherwise, I think this is a pretty close match if you don't have the 10 cost Kuzan. And of course, they're sitting on the Hody Jones, so sitting there and getting a second queen wouldn't have really mattered at the end of the day. But yeah, I think that this one is favored towards king, but you just have to find your 10 cost. All right, we are in a battle of studs here with King versus Marco. Let's see if we are able to get a decent opening hand here. I think overall, once again, if you can find Onigashima or, you know, if you're able to find searchers, I think that's pretty good too. But we have double searchers going second, which is nice because now that means we have to look at the top 10, or rather top 11 cards of our deck to see if we can find an Onigashima. And love to whiff. That's always fun. Well, at least we get the Onigashima. Can't complain too much then. That means we will be getting to 10 rather soon, so that's good for us. We'll take the first hit, see what they have down. This is probably, okay, it's just a blocker. I assumed it was going to be a Sanji's peel-off, but you never know. You never know with these lists these days. I'm comfortable taking these hits, by the way, because I do have the 9-cost Lin. If I don't, then I'm usually going to be countering out of at least maybe an attack or two early. This next turn means I'm going to be going down to 2 more than likely. We just need to find something that will help us out. Fill our curve out, rather. Go 6 at lead. And do this, and then pass the turn. We'll be at 7 this next turn, so I think it's okay to take this hit because it will allow us to see what is on the top. Jack is there, and that is very good for us because that means we can get rid of the Doflamingo. We could also get rid of the Rikuyo, which is an interesting guy here. I don't know if Kaido's really great right now, so I think I might just get rid of the Kaido overall. Let's play the Jack down, use this to get rid of the other Jack, and then we can pass. I was thinking, what do we do this next turn? But I think it's fine too. Probably Lin one of these things, if anything. Lin the ace, maybe. The problem with Jack is that in this matchup, Jack just gets easily trounced. Just because the cost reduction, it just bypasses like the cost effect. Or not cost reduction, the power reduction. Bypasses the +4. Doesn't really matter that you're +4 if you're at 6,000 power, right? Yeah, I mean, we're letting that go. There's no world where that stays alive, so. We'll take it, and no trigger. I actually think it's probably worth swinging 5 and then using the Kuzan this next turn, and even going down to 0 life to stabilize. I don't mind that, actually. Then I saw that we got an event, and I changed my mind. We'll swing 5. Let's swing 5. Let's go ahead and do this. We'll go... they're blocking? Okay. Minus, get rid of the Kaido, gain a life, put this at the bottom, and then pass the turn. I think it's fine. They're at 4 in hand, which is pretty not ideal. Okay, another one. Another one. So is this just a spam the board with like medium-sized bodies kind of thing? This is interesting if that's the case. I would imagine that at this point they would be playing some bigger bodies, but it is what it is. So this has, reveal the top card, it has Rush, is that right? Jesus. What the heck? All right. Let's go 6 here. Go here. Minus a Dawn, get rid of the Onigashima, gain a life, put this at the bottom, use this, and then -2 to draw a card. Double Kuzan, not exactly what I want to see here, but they are 2 cards in hand, so we might be able to stabilize at 1 here. It just depends on what they decide to throw at us. Going 7, probably. At face. Fine. This might be a rush build overall, which if that's the case, I think that's... Okay, Queen's fine. We can use our Gatling to get rid of the Kuzan this next turn as well. Or pitch it, rather. And we might be able to stabilize at this. Jeez, what the heck? What the heck is this guy doing? Okay, so we just go 5 to 5. 9 to 6. 9 to 5. 10, -2, draw a card, and pass? And then we just kind of have to hope that we get into some blockers at that point and just use the big bodies we have to keep alive. Yeah, we cannot get rid of this queen no matter what, but we can do Gatling into Ice Age, Sasaki if we need to, so... In a pickle, but that's what happens, you know. That's king for you sometimes. Send a card to the bottom, which is good for us because that means that it is not going to be a Sanji more than likely. But seeing that they have all of these rush options is pretty interesting. So they might have even more. Like, might have like Kid Killer coming down. Who knows? Yeah, I was really taken back by this one. When I saw this come down, I was really, honestly, perplexed. I mean, the ace makes sense, right? They're running a bunch of 4-drops. That totally, I get it. But, wow. I was shocked, for sure. Okay. I think we just kind of have to see what they do here. Hope for the best. Speed Jill. Got it. Speed Jill coming at me for 8, more than likely. Go here and here. I think we swing 5 at it first, just see if they give us a card. They have 2 cards left in hand, which I think it's pretty nice that, oh man, that's really good to see. Double Queen is exactly what we need here. So let's start turtling up. Just swing face. These attacks are likely not going to be countered because it's really hard for them to counter these attacks. Let's use the Queen here. Oh, love to see it. And let's get some more card draw. Why not? Do this. Draw 2. And we have blockers for days, which is exactly what we need. I don't think they're running anything that can be like can bypass us. Unless they're running Luffy, which I guess it would make sense that if they're running a rush variant, they're running Kid and Killer, so it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility for them to be running the 5-cost Luffy. But yeah, we'll see. So if it is a Luffy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We can counter out of that. Double queen might have been an iffy decision because that means we can't double blocker the next turn. But overall, I think it's fine. I do appreciate this build of Marco, one that is not building like a huge body. Like the thing is with Marco, usually you'll see like Sanji into like Rayleigh or Sanji into Newgate or whatever it may be. But as you can see, they are running a lot of the like get your value plays here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we just block. I honestly think we just block. I don't want to take any risks here that are unnecessary. Okay, so Marco, double Marco. Oh, baby. Just in the nick of time. We love to see it. Let's go 5 at lead. This Linlin came in clutch. What we can end up doing is we can play the Linlin down to heal ourselves, so we do have like a little bit of a cushion, which is nice. Okay, they decide that they're not going to use the Marco ability, which is totally fine. Let's swing 10. Okay, that's fine. I don't want them to have this Kid Killer, if I'm being honest. I really don't. If they decide to use it, I think we just get rid of it. Yeah, I think we just use this, select a Dawn, do this, gain a life, put this at the bottom. And then let's draw a card. Beautiful. Beautiful. We have come back miraculously. I don't think that we're quite in the clear just yet, but we're pretty close. We're pretty close. We have a lot of bodies that I don't think that they're going to be able to deal with. We were able to heal another life with this Linlin. This is why I said that this card is so important for this deck, because as we're sitting at that 0 threshold, it's just like, it's so scary if you don't find blockers, which we were luckily able to get pretty much all the blockers in the world when we needed it. If you don't have them and you can't kind of like prolong the game by just like blocking your opponent's hits and you can't find the 9 cost, you're screwed. It's so tough without this. And of course, like this Marco was sitting at 6 life and they're probably like, oh, I have no problem. You're sitting at 2 and I'm at 6. But as you can see, they weren't establishing a board. We have a pretty big board of 9K bodies coming through at them. We're able to answer everything on the board as well. I think we're able to counter out here, by the way, because the reason why we're able to counter out is because we want to keep this queen alive so that we have an extra body to hit face with. And we'll get rid of the Sabo. We'll go like Sasaki, Sabo, counter out of that. And then they likely do not have 2 more attacks coming through. And if they do, we can probably get rid of it or counter out of them. So now they're the ones turtling up, which is totally fine. I would expect them to do so. They have quite a lot of blockers. I think that they've played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 total. We could be cheeky and play X-Drake, but I don't think that's needed. Just swing 9. Let's just swing 9 and see what they do, because honestly, with 3 cards in hand, one of these 2 life being dead, it's not good for them. It's not great, to be quite honest. They kind of have to... Well, I think that basically sealed the deal. One of these is dead. We know that the rest, if they're all 2Ks, the most it can be is 11. So let's just swing the 11, guarantee the hit here, and then we can just swing all in with the 9 cost Linlin. Go 17. They mathematically can't get out of it. They did have quite a lot of firepower in this deck. Yeah, the 7-cost ace is, I would imagine, a staple at this point. And yeah, it's a little strange to not see the top end, but I think that when you're playing against a deck like King or any of the black decks, having some of the just hit face fast rather, is, I think, honestly a good way to go. So yeah, I think that this Marco was on the brink of winning, and I was really scared for a second, but the 9-cost Linlin brought us back. All right, so King overall, I think, is probably a pretty fun pet deck. I don't think it's quite ready to be brought to like a regionals or like a treasure cup. I could be wrong, but I feel like the 4 life definitely hurts it. Of course, the whole point of this video is that the 9-cost Linlin is the main reason why you should be playing this deck. I will say, though, that the times where you're playing against slower decks and you don't see 10-cost Kuzan, like for instance in our Bonney match, it definitely doesn't feel unwinnable, but it's a lot harder to kind of guide yourself through those wins. If we had a 10-cost Kuzan in like the Bonney match, for instance, I think that that's a very easy win at that point. We almost pulled it out based off of what we did have, so that's very nice. I would say that this 9-cost Kaido almost underperformed in some scenarios. Like, I found myself pitching it more times than not to try to get the 9-cost Linlin or try to do whatever else besides this card. It is good, don't get me wrong. There's definitely times where I think that it's just a stellar card, but I think that I'm glad I'm running it at 2 instead of vice versa, like 4 Kaido, 2 Linlin. This is definitely a 4 of, in my opinion. The Jack is just a great card. Jack, if I'm running Jack, I think I'm just happy with it. Like I said, Nico Robin and Jack is a great combo. Kuzan Jack's a great combo. Overall, this deck, I think people are probably not as prepared to play against it, might think that it's a bad deck because it's a 4-life purple-black leader, but I do think that King might be a deck that, you know, with time probably gets worse, to be quite honest. I think its time is now if you're going to be playing it, but I do think that it's a deck that if you put a lot of time into it, a lot of mileage into it, you could probably do really well. It's kind of like those that really put a lot of time into Rebecca, for instance, blue-black Rebecca, and then they end up popping off with it. I think that King could be similar in the sense that if you are able to kind of like stabilize your late game and then turn things around at a certain point, that, yeah, it's really hard for your opponent to like climb that hill. Of course, getting hit in the face a lot early is going to suck if you're going against like Zoro. I don't really know what you could do against Zoro. There are some builds that I've seen, and I'm sure somebody in the comments is going to say this without watching the entire video, but there's builds with, I think it's like ulti, it's like a black ulti that I think came out in OP08 that you might want to add into the deck. Oh, not ulti, page 1, sorry. It's this one right here. It's play up to 1, cost 4 or lower ulti from your trash. And then you have this page 1 that you could play, and then you have, of course, the reason why the black one works is because you're running the 2k counter ulti, which then brings out the other page 1 we saw. So there's a potential combo where you have the 5-cost page 1, the black one, bring out this ulti from trash where you've countered with it. This ulti comes out on the field, then on play Don -1, and then it brings out the purple vanilla page 1. And then you have a body, you have 3 bodies on the board, which is really nice to see, especially if you're going against like aggro decks or if you want to turn on the gas against somebody. But overall, I think that the way the deck should be built is not like that. I don't think that there's room for that. I would like to make it work, but I think the control variant is probably the better version overall, and I would see more success with this one as opposed to the other one potentially, but I do like both builds, don't get me wrong. So anyway, that's this week's video on King. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys as always, and I'll see you guys in the next one.